Good morning, everyone. I welcome you all with session that is the corporate culture, and we will be discussing about a lot of aspects which generally happen in the workplaces. So, yes, my name is Arleen Kaur, and I'm a working professional, and I will be giving you and providing you the insights which happened in day-to-day life in corporate culture. So, I'll try to make this session interactive. So be active and let me know once you have doubts. So I'll resolve it at promptly way. So let me just see. Okay. So corporate culture, understanding and shaping the workplace. So culture, we all know the culture is something which shapes the workplaces, shapes the personality of an individual, just like we live in a country where we have diverse culture. Similarly, we have same in the corporate as well. So whether you are in a startup or a multinational, your experience at work is shaped by something beyond the job description, and that's culture. So, corporate culture is not about job description, policies, rules, norms. It is beyond that. It is something that people generally made, the leadership, their teams, their managers, and that's how a corporate and a positive culture has been made. So, what are we discussing today? What would be the objective? So, understanding the corporate culture, importance and impact, types and elements of culture, identifying toxic versus healthy culture, real life examples and case discussion, your role in shaping culture, tools and tips for positive culture. So these all are the objectives that we will be discussing today. So let's just discuss this one question. So icebreaker cultural shock moment. So I just want to know from you people, like, have you ever experienced any cultural shocks, maybe in your college time or school time, or maybe in your workplace? Anything?
Yes, ma'am. In various school activities, we have a fear that how we are gonna something like that, whether audience will actually judge us on our performance of what it is actually. So that's
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Bhumi, for responding. So, cultural shock is basically something which is very different, which we don't expect it. For example, if someone who is a new intern and who joined the office and the manager or the team leader asked him or her to not to address them as a sir or ma'am because it's an open culture and corporate is all about on a first name basis. So that could be a cultural shock moment wherein you can see that the things which you imagine or which you have assumed is completely different. Similarly, maybe in your school time or internship activities or a group activities, something that might be very difficult for you to understand. So now corporate culture in today's time is very like common, like casual meetings or talking with your seniors and having a team lunch with your leadership team as well. So that is all something which is very new in today's time. So that is something is a cultural shock moments that we call about. I hope that this thing is clear to you. You can all
yes, ma'am.
so you can also give the thumbs up if someone you are able to understand this. Okay. Then we have what is corporate culture. So corporate culture is the set of shared values, beliefs, and practices that shape how people behave in an organization. Very, very important key aspect. So it is a shared values. It is a belief and practices that shape how people behave in an organization. It's all about the human psychology, behavior, beliefs that we tend to show to the person. So that is all about cultural. So culture, we all know it's a belief, it's a set of belief, custom, values that we obtain from our parents, from families, from other friends. So that is all about culture. But corporate culture is about shared values in a workplace, in an organization where people like you, people who are junior to you or senior to you, they are working there. So these makes all such things as a corporate culture. That is what we call it. Type hierarchical, innovative, collaborative, result oriented. So we all know that we have different types of corporate culture. So starting with the hierarchical culture. So what it is when we have a top to bottom, when we have a long chain of report to someone or someone who is in higher authority. For example, if you join as an intern, then your manager would be some from operation team, then their manager would be a senior manager, and then it would be the chief operation manager. And then apart from that, CEO and the director of the company. So this is the structure wherein a company, usually some companies follows a long chain wherein a lot of managers and lot of authorities have been there and you need to report it to them on a daily and you cannot directly contact with the CEO or the director, but somehow the things have been changed because most of the organization, they have their own Google forms, they set meetings, they have their own discussions wherein they can ask questions from the leadership team as well. So this is the structure where the people in past they usually follow in an organization. Innovative is something, for example, Apple. So you can see Apple is something which is very innovative with all their gadgets, MacBook, laptops, and other things. So that we call as an innovative organization. Collaborative is something wherein we can see someone who is in a collaboration with one or two organization wherein they are working on some ideas, maybe some tie-ups, or maybe they are working on some things. That is called as corporate culture. Result oriented, something which is related to the result or something that they need to work upon. So they just want something to get in return, and the result should be positive in nature. So that we will call them as a corporate culture. Example: Google versus traditional government office culture. So you can see, you can now differentiate between how the culture and how the setup of the office is different. Like in the left hand side, if you can see this picture, you can see this is the culture of the Google. This is the setup. It's a workplace of a Google. And wherein it in the right hand side, you can see the structure of a government office. What do you think about these two cultures? Anything that anyone would like to share about?
The Google one is more structured and where the people can actually cooperate easily. On the other hand, in office, government offices, it is completely clustered, and there is a lot of chaos which happens.
Yes, correct. So in the Google one, as you know, the vision and the values, if we talk about Google, it's all about collaboration, innovation, result oriented, open discussion. So that is about a proper workplace that is dedicated to the employees, wherein they can work together as a team and they can put their ideas and they can also share their things which they have discussed or brainstormed during a session. Whereas in the other picture, if you can see government offices, we all know how government offices work. They have their fixed rate 9 to 10, 9 to 6 job, and they need to work on a task. There is no innovation in that. It's just a set of traditional work that has been carried for over a long time. So that is about the government offices, as we know. So it is about wherein a lot of people are working and there are no innovative techniques because each and everything has been carried out for a longer period of time. So that is the difference between a culture which is very traditional and a culture which is very innovative and modern in nature. Modern doesn't requires a cool setup or something which we call as large buildings or a colorful building. Sometimes it also happens usually in startups wherein you will see or you will think that, okay, this is the startup that I have imagined and see how cool it is. The infrastructure, the architectural design, the innovative techniques, it's all different. But somehow we don't know what's inside in the four walls. Maybe the structure that they follow is something different, just like the government office. So these are all things that we need to keep in mind. So it is just a representation of how things usually work. Fine. So that is all about the corporate culture. Okay. And why do you think so it matters? So it matters to us because we as a people need recognition, acknowledgement, right? Just like in culture, we want if there's any festival coming by and if we are not invited, how do we feel? Of course, we will be feeling not good. We will be feeling left out, isolated if someone who is celebrating the festivals with their family and we are not getting invited by our friends or by some other people who we are close to, then we will be simply feel down and we will be not be happy for seeing. Similarly, in corporate culture, it matters to us because it is beyond the rules and regulation, just as I have mentioned earlier. It's the invisible force that drives how employees behave, collaborate, and grow together. As a humans, we are not robots. We also need validation at each and every point of time. We also need someone to hear. We also need someone who can actually understand our perspective. Maybe what is 9 for me, it's 6 for you. It's not about right or wrong. It's about the different perception that we bring in the table. So that we can set this as an example. A healthy culture defines how people treat each other, approach their tasks, and handle challenge. So a healthy culture is something that people treat each other and they approach their task and they handle the challenges together. If someone who is not feeling fine and you are just simply asking them about if they're feeling good or if you would like some coffee or if something I can do, or maybe a small appreciation email message can also brighten up their day. So small efforts actually matters in workplace, and approach their task. Maybe you can help them, or maybe you can collaborate with them so that it can be a positive culture with you within the team and handle challenges together. So if we talk about team, it's not about you and me, it's about we. It's about things that we need to work on together. So that is about corporate culture. And this is the importance of it's if a one individual makes some differences and other people do the same, it will definitely create a drastic impact in an organization. It lays the foundation for a productive, inclusive, and supportive work environment. So whenever you have this culture, so when you help each other, when you're very supportive, when you're open to listen, open to speak, then it's a productive, wherein you will be discussing about a lot of aspects and you will be supporting each other's ideas in your work. Then we have encourages teamwork and mutual respect among employees. So respect is very, very important. So even though the corporate culture, if we talk about the offices, we may address the higher authorities or the managers on a first name basis, but it should always comes with the respect. So if someone who is using sir or ma'am and the tone and the voice modulation, it doesn't depict the same, it will be a problem for that particular individual, because respect is something that every individual deserves and everybody wants, so that we can have a good cultural environment here. So teamwork and mutual respect among employees is very important, so that we can have a good discussion and we can work on something which is very important. Builds trust between employees and management. Very, very important. If you are in an organization, you need to build trust. And how do you build trust? Because words is something which people might not able to trust it fully by your actions, by your work, like how you actually present yourself. Is the work that you do actually deliver to the project or the return that the management is expecting? So that is important, how trust is built. It's not about, okay, you can trust me, or you can carry, or you can just count me in, or you can just count me on, I can do this. It's about things that you actually deliver upon. That's how trust is built. Then we have boost motivation, creativity, and overall performance. By using all the above things, it definitely contributes in the motivation, creativity, and the overall performances of an employee. Leads to higher job satisfaction and lower attrition rate. So if something that is working with you, if you are getting the recognition, if you are getting the proper environment, if you want to discuss something with your managers and you are getting your meetings on a timely basis, then you will definitely stick to that organization for over a year or more than that also. And lower attrition means something wherein the employees turnover rate, like how many employees left the organization within a year. And if an organization have a lower attrition rate, that means the organization is doing very well. That means the people doesn't tend to leave easily. They like the culture, they like the work, they like the monetary and non-monetary aspects. If organization have higher attrition rate, then it's a questionable mark for them, like why are they are not able to retain their employees? Are they not providing any training, or are they not providing any other activities for their employees? So that is how it impacts, because each and everything is documented and has been published in the website. Then promotes ethical behavior and accountability. That is very important. So ethical behavior and accountability is something that comes from within. Ethical behavior should be something that's an unsaid rule. Not everything will be taught to you in your induction program or your training programs. It's something which you need to focus is on. And accountability, wherein you have your things that you are accountable. If you are assigned for some work, then you are accountable for it, irrespective whether your team member has worked or not. So these are some corporate aspects. Last but not the least, supports innovation by giving space for new ideas to be heard. Because we live in a environment wherein we have a lot of technical advancement, lot of new things that we can bring on the table, and we can actually work upon that. But if someone or not is not there from the management team, how can we grow further? So it support innovation by giving space for new ideas to be heard. So new idea, something which we should hear from the team member as well and support them. So that is how these are the following points which I have discussed is important. I hope it is clear. Is there any doubt in this any particular point?
No, ma'am, it's
Okay, thank you. Okay, core elements. So corporate culture is what employees live and breathe every day, not what's written on the wall. So maybe you have seen in your maybe in any internship or maybe startups or the organization that they have a lot of long, slow logos, or maybe their mission values imprinted on in their. So it's not about that, but yes, it's all about other aspects as well. And this is the table which I have mentioned. It's the about a chart. So corporate culture binds all these elements and it makes a corporate culture. So ideology of the organization, it's about mission, vision, values, how the company is thinking. Are there any values that they are seeking? If the company has been built, definitely every startup, every company has their long term and short term goals. If we talk about mission, it's a short term goals that helps to achieve in the long term goals. That is your vision. Management and culture. Management culture is equally important. So it's about how the management creates a culture, a positive culture, how you create a culture. So it is not all about the company's setup or maybe the people. It's all about how management created, like your team, your manager, the upper managers, the senior manager, and culture and production culture. For example, a call center needs to handle 100 calls per agent or so many calls. How they are contributing to it, the quality of the work, are they doing it in a right way or not? So that is about the production culture. So apart from management, apart from the ideologies, we have still other culture as well. For example, production, work culture, and the training as well. So production is related to the core value in the operations tasks, especially wherein you need to handle a lot of tasks and you need to work on that because it ultimately impacts the client. Moving on, we have work culture. Again, that is how we as an individual create, and culture of training and education of the employees. Very, very important. Not everybody is so fond of the AI tools that have been there in the market. So culture of training and education of employees is equally important, that has been given. And there are so many initiatives which has been shared by the organization. They have started developing new interests and new things. So that is all about the culture. Rules and norms, yes, it is equally important. Even whenever you go, even when you go to the any cafe or whenever you go any some places, each and every place has their own rules and regulations. So that everybody needs to follow, and that is something which we as a person know that to maintain a decorum, to maintain a good and a positive workplace, we need to do that. Culture of social and labor relations, about the grievance redressal programs for women, any sport clubs, for example, some organization like TCS, they organize these events on a like weekly basis or on a monthly basis. So that is all about wherein an employee can go and actually put their problems and they can get their results in 1 to 2 to 3 weeks, just like a consumer protection act, wherein we can go to the we can just write it to the email and then we can get this reply or the response from the team. Same with the cultural of social and labor relation. Values is something which uh, we have just received from our parents or from our family. It's a set of beliefs. It's how we treat us, how we actually see things as. And symbolics is again about the setup of the organization, about how things have been. So these all about the symbolic. Cultural of relation with the external environment, very, very important. How you behave as a individual in the external environment. External environment could be from the other team or it could be from the different organization, wherein how you maintain that positivity so that you can actually build something, just like in collaborative culture that we talk about in the type. So when you are collaborating with the other organization, you definitely need to work with different people, and that is important. So these are some corporate cultures. So these are something which we can just implement this, and that is how these corporate culture has been made by using these points. So which of these do you notice first when you join a new workplace?
The work culture, basically.
Yes, correct. So we don't usually look for the rules and norms or some ideologies. We just simply see how the work culture is. Are the people friendly? Are the people approachable or not? So according to that, we make our own set of. Now we have visible versus invisible culture, something which we all we know. So what you see versus what you feel. So something which we see, it's not important that we feel that it would be the same. So visible is something, the office layout, the dress code, meeting structure, communication tools, like how the office has been drafted, what kind of dresses or what kind of uniform or what kind of clothes people wear in their workplaces, and how the meeting structure has been drafted. Are there any whiteboards? Are there any screens? Or are there any charts that can help us in drafting some ideas? And communication tools are like we have online communication tools. They have their own set of laptops or not, or are there any particular areas for that? So that is the visible structure, the setup that we talk about. Invisible is trust, tone, respect, inclusion, power dynamics. An example, open plan office is not equal to open communication. A company may look modern but have a rigid top down culture. So invisible is something, it's a respect, it's a behavior, a trust, tone, respect. It cannot be seen until and unless it's felt. So that is how it is important. These two aspects are very important. So for example, if you think there is an open plan office, maybe the people are discussing, or maybe you think that something which is very prominent or very it would be, the people would be very feel like free to express their views. So that would be open plan office. But it doesn't mean that there would be an open communication. It might be different. So our company may look modern but have a rigid top-down culture. So something which you need to see as an individual is something, it's not about one aspects that we need to see. We need to talk about, we need to think about, we need to look about for the other aspect as well, whichever has been there. So this is about visible and invisible. And why do these visuals tell you about the culture? So in the first place, if we can see, it is about a boardroom wherein a lot of senior managers or leaders, they are in a formal meeting in a formal dress code. Whereas in the right hand side picture, you can see the people are in casual wear, they are wearing jeans, and they have a white board and they are putting the charts and they are just brainstorming about the idea. So that is the culture. One is talking about in a formal meeting, the other one is brainstorming the ideas, same within a team and maybe with a different setup. So that is how it is different from each other. Then we have a healthy workplace culture inspires growth, collaboration, and purpose. A toxic one breeds fear, silence, and survival. So these are some healthy versus toxic traits that you can resolve or that you can think about. So healthy one is collaboration. How can we tackle this together? So the only difference between healthy and a toxic culture is you are replacing I or you with a we. That is the ultimate solution here. So how we can tackle this together? If someone is facing an issue, that is not their issue as well. Maybe you are in a team, maybe same team, then it's your responsibility as well to solve that problem. Isolation, that's your problem to solve. Simply directing and simply giving a command that you need to solve this problem. So that would be a toxic culture. Support, what resources can I offer you? Pressure, why haven't you finished this already? Support is very important. Support is something like how can we help you? How can I help you to, so that you can resolve your queries, so that you can resolve your queries and maybe brainstorm your ideas. That is the support, and it could be anything. A support may be a moral support, or maybe a support that you require in your work, maybe a refresher training, or maybe some other trainings that you are interested in. So that is the support. And pressure, like for example, if the deadline has been if there's a deadline or you have passed this, then why haven't you finished this already? That is a toxic trait, that you are simply putting a lot of pressure on an individual for not getting the work done. Innovation, your fresh ideas are valuable. Innovation is very important to survive. And if you have creativity, if you have innovation, if you have something out of the box, then your fresh ideas are valuable and it will be considered as an important. Then we have stagnation. We don't have our methods here. We don't change our methods here. Some organization, for example, in the government offices, you cannot expect the government offices to just create, just to be in a different place, or they can just create a colorful environment or a less cluttered environment. They will work just like they have worked 10 to 20 years back. So that is the stagnation that we talk about. Though with the government jobs have their job security, they have other perks and things. But yes, personality development, professional development is equally important so that you can excel in your career. So we don't change our methods here. That is the pointer of the toxic trait. The well-being, your health matter to us. Burnout, everyone is stressed, powered through it. So well-being is something very important. So some organization, they give sick leaves, they provide certain apps, and my organization have e-kin care apps wherein we can just have a free consultation once in a month, and then we can talk about and discuss about the issues that we face. And whereas in burnout, wherein you will be getting a lot of work, still the organization need work as compared to your health. So there should be a balance between a work and a health. Open communication, I'm glad you voiced that concern. So if you are an intern, if you are a very junior position in an organization, that doesn't mean that you are not allowed to speak. You're allowed to express your opinions, you're allowed to express your point of views. That is that what we call as open communication. And silencing, keep your complaints to yourself. Again, if you feel there is an issue and if people are not encouraging you to speak, then it's a problem, because you should not be isolated. You should not feel bad for it. You should always reach out to the concerned person. Then we have life work harmony. Respect your time outside the work. So we have seen this maybe in some videos or some workplaces wherein there are organization that still calls you, or your manager calls you at 12 a.m. like, okay, this is the work that you need to do. That's an urgent requirement from the client. But some organization respect that within a work hours you have to do it. After work hours we won't disturb you. And overwork, long hours are a part of the job. So again, if there is an organization that tells you if it's in a long hour, then it would be toxic culture, because we as a human need rest. We also need to recharge ourselves, and that is equally important. Or maybe some work, or maybe with consent, it can be right, but yes, not every time it is suited. Then values driven, every setback is a learning opportunity. Profit based, what's the bottom line? Values is, again, it's a learning opportunity, and not every time it should be compared with the profit obsessed, like what's the bottom line, why there is a loss, how can we overcome. Growth mindset, how can we tackle this together. And punishment, mistakes will cost you. So mistakes and errors, it should be it's something which we as a human tend to do. Humans and errors, they are a part of it. We are not like we are not the AI that can be always correct and that can always share the emails correctly. Sometime it happens, maybe there is an error in communication, because especially in writing written emails, non-verbal communication, wherein you are not able to express something, or in a written communication you should be very careful with your words, otherwise people will misinterpret it for sure. Like if you use caps lock, it indicates the person is shouting. So that is about the non-verbal communication. Then we have punishment, like mistakes will cost you. So maybe in some organization you can see, if you do some mistake, they just deduct some amount from your salary. So that should not be encouraged. It should there should be some other alternatives wherein you can describe your opinion. Recognition, great place on this project, very very important. R&R, rewards and recognition, is very important so that it helps you to stay motivated and be focused on your work. Criticism, it's about time you got it right. So again, it's just again a comment wherein it should be replaced with some other positive note so that the people are encouraged with it. Empathy, take the time you need to recover. Skepticism, are you sure you can't work? So again, empathy, take your time. You just like you need to recover, you need to do something. And skepticism, are you sure that you can't work? So again, it's again a doubt that you're not trusting your employees with this, and about how you want their employees to get motivated. So that is about your empathy and skepticism. So one green flag and one red flag you have noticed in a workplace. Any above points or any other new points that you would like to share here? Anyone? Any green or any red flag in your workplace culture? Maybe you have seen something good, maybe something you have seen, maybe you have seen some other thing. Anybody would like to share? No way. So maybe you have seen about green flag is all about wherein you are see that open communication is there, and well-being, the organization is caring, the organization is giving concerns. And a red flag could be long working hours, or maybe a lot of pressure or overwork. That could one of the aspects. Then if we talk about an example, so a tale of two cultures, case study of two teams, team A and team B. So I have taken this example of one Google and the Uber, which it's in 2017. If we talk about, so leadership, managers act as a coaches. Example, Google's Project Oxygen show teams thrive under supportive leadership. Uber's leadership in 2017 was criticized for fostering aggression and ignoring employee concerns. So yeah, if we talk about the Google, so it showed the team, because Google initiate a lot of project for the employees. You may search it on their website. You can go through that. They have a lot of projects that they do for their employees and for the well-being for it. And team B, toxic culture. So Uber, when maybe it's just started, or in 2017, a lot of like issues were concerned, and because of the growing employee concerns. So that was the leadership problem or the challenge we can talk about. Communication, open communication in weekly TGI forms. Thank God it's Friday. It's the name of the form, where employees can ask leaders anything. So the HR department, what they do is they circulate certain forms, they schedule a meeting with the leadership, and they compile all those questions and ask the managers and ask the leaders to, and ask the same questions to their leader. Former Uber employees reported fear of retaliation for speaking up about issues. So if the employees are not comfortable in expressing their point of view about the issues that they're facing, then again it's a communication gap that they need to work upon. Work environment, Google offers flexible hours, nap pods, and mental health support. Just as I have mentioned, they have a very flexible hours, nap pods, hybrid model, and mental health support as well. Uber was known for extreme hours and poor work-life balance under performance pressure. Because once the people start putting a lot of energy, a lot of efforts, and they are not able to complete their work on deadlines, then definitely it will impact on their mental health. Team collaboration, Google's 20 time allows employees work on passion projects. Gmail was created this way. So at Uber, teams often competed internally, leading to mistrust and toxic dynamics. So Google 20% time it allows employees to work on passion projects, and Gmail was created this way. So again, Google did do a lot of collaboration, and like how Gmail and Google Map was created, because the employees were simply discussing. It was not a task, it was not a project, it was the ideas that comes from within the employees when they were brainstorming some ideas. So that is how Gmail and Google Maps have been created. And at Uber, because of the dynamics, because they were facing so many challenges, the employees were not able to speak, they were not able to express their point of views. The leadership was in a challenging mode. So that is why the culture in 2017 was not good. Outcome, Google has consistent ranked for top best companies to work for list, and Uber faced public scandals, resignation, and damage to the employer brand. So because of the all the positive initiatives done by the Google company, so they consistently ranked in the best companies to work for list. And Uber faced the public scandals because of their culture, which leads to, and the impact was not positive, it was a negative impact, because the employees tend to leave, and because of the leadership that they have created, it also tarnished their brand value. So which team would you prefer to work with, and why? Anyone, like, is there any team? It's a very simple question wherein you need to choose between a team if you would like to work someday.
Mom, it would be obviously team A because there is a more comfortable and a more cooperative environment which everyone would like to work in.
Yes, correct. Thank you. So yes, Team A, Google, because cooperative environment, just as Bhumi mentioned, and about how they care about their employees, how they provide initiatives, how they are giving a proper space to the humans so that they can think about it. Then we have culture is everyone's responsibility and your role in shaping culture. How will you create a culture? So if you would like to create your culture, be accountable for your behavior, not blaming, okay, this work should be, it's a teamwork and why should I do the, there is no I, because in a company, in an organization where more than 1000 plus employees are working, there should be a thing that you need to do, because not everybody is accountable, because if something is assigned to you, you need to do it, and you need to do it and present it in front of your managers. So accountable for your behavior. If something happens and if you have done something, just acknowledge it. Encourage open respectful communication, and again, respectful communication is equally important and you have to encourage it. Maybe if someone who maybe a junior or an intern asks you for help, maybe you can help her out or help him or her out, and then you can guide like what kind of processes are there, how can you indulge yourself in some activities, some societies, or some other training program. Support inclusion. Inclusion is something wherein you are in a organization and you are supporting about inclusion, like you are like supporting if someone from the other team or someone from the other culture or from the other religion or from any other aspect comes, so you are supporting it irrespective of not showing a welcoming nature. Avoid gossip and negativity. So gossip and negativity, that happens. So we cannot just say we can just eliminate this, because it's a human nature, it's a part of it. We can avoid it, but we cannot eliminate it, because it's a grapevine structure. The things will go on and on. If you tell something to someone, they will go and tell their other colleagues, and the things will impact your mental health as well and other things as well. So you should avoid gossip and make sure that you are there, your work hours should be counted, and indulge yourself in some positive activities. Maybe you are doing some project or maybe some training activities that can help you to be a better employee or a better person. Model integrity and empathy. That is your human behavior. That is not something that is written in their rules or documents or in their policies. It's something that comes from within. If someone, if you are kind in nature, if you just be kind to the person who's asking for the help, you can definitely go. So, question is, if you see that your friend or teammate looks sad or quiet, what small things can you do to make them feel better and help to create a kind and friendly place? So maybe you can just relate it with your school or maybe college time. For example, your friend is not feeling well because he or she scored less marks or she's not able to perform well in the competition. How will you support that friend? How will you encourage to that particular person? Anyone?
Like we can take them for a lunch or something like that, so that and we can have a conversation to motivate them.
Yes, correct. So we can definitely motivate them and we can ask them for a lunch or for a coffee, and we can just write a small message to them about that we appreciate your hard work you have put in. You're doing well, and I know that you have the potential to do better. And you can just cheer them up, or maybe you can just listen to them, hear them out. That will also help them because because sometimes what we as a humans are asking is not for someone's solution every time. We are the human, we just simply need someone to be sit beside us and just hear. So we can be a good listener, or we can just be there as a person. Sometimes presence matters the most. Okay, that person is there. Maybe you are not able to express your situation, or maybe you are in a situation that you cannot easily mention about to the people. So that could be one of the aspect that we talk about. So it's a human nature. Just as you cheer your friend, you have to do it with your other teammates or the employees. Coffee is something you can take it out. You can just maybe you can try something, or maybe you can share something from your life, something very that is very humorous in nature, and then it can just brighten up a room. So it is not about how hard you had to try. A small effort actually matters. Maybe some things, maybe sometimes you will not feel good, and how will you feel if someone is not approaching you, someone is not asking for your well-being or your personal or your other. So that could be one of the reason here. So quick tips for everyday cultural building. So you have to use polite language. Would you mind instead of do this now? So if you see do this now, if you get this message in your WhatsApp or in your emails, definitely uh, it will be a very you won't like it because it's just a command. You will feel sad, or you will feel okay, that is they can write in a more polite way. So that is why we have certain terms in English. Would you mind? Could you please do this for me? So these small things can actually make a difference. And be mindful of tone in emails and chats, because in a corporate culture, most of the communication are written. Not every time you can reach out and you can just let them know about your problem. You can, but maybe after a lot of emails trail and lot of communication with the HR. But before that, you need to go through with the emails and chat. How to write emails. Chat GPT, AI tools are there, but they are not very well versed with the things that you need to put on. You need to actually give them the prompt like this kind of mails we want. Sometimes their emails are not well drafted. If you talk about, for example, you ask for, I want to write an email for a leave, and they just simply write in a just in a very formal way, or maybe in a way that your organization might not accept. So we need to be mindful tone in emails and chat, how we are writing it and how it impacts it. Just read the emails, because just like in WhatsApp or in other applications, social media, we can unsend our message, we can delete that message, but in emails, once an email has been sent, it cannot be reversed. You just need to
ओहो नमस्ते क्या हो गया
reshare the email on a basis, like you need to reshare the or revised email. So that could be one of the aspects here. So you need to be mindful of the tone in emails and chat, and recognize teammates publicly. So even if someone is doing something, and maybe just in a collaborative team structure wherein one team is working very hard and very good, you need to appreciate it in front of others as well. Okay, if you are sitting with them, if you're working with them, then also it finds if you're encouraging them, if you're motivating them. But publicly encouraging and publicly recognizing is equally important once you are in a team. So that would be one of your aspect. Practice active listening. So again, active listening very important, because in an organization wherein if you have a formal meetings, you need to be very patient listener. You need to listen what they're talking about, then you need to present your point in such a way that they can understand your point of views. We cannot directly go and say, okay, this is the issues I'm facing, like what are you doing, I'm not able to understand, I'm not able to concentrate. That's not how it works. A proper structure needs to be followed. Be mindful with your tone, be mindful with your vocab, your words that you're going to write, and ask before giving advice. So always ask. If you are in a thing that you're not sure about it, always reach out to the concerned person. So that all these pointers make you a builds a positive culture here. So using the polite language and your tones, and you recognize your teammates. So just as like, because team is something where one support each other, the other would definitely do the same in the future. And active listening is a part of it. So in my organization, most of the time I've seen they don't listen. If some meetings are there, discussions are there, if they face problem, don't jump directly into the conclusion. Listen first, and then according to that frame your responses and then present it. It actually looks respectful, and it actually looks that you are a person who has a knowledge in this product or in demand. Ask before giving advice is again the same thing. So what we as a human tend to do is we just give advice that we are not sure about. We are not even confident about some subject that they're talking about, but still we just need to give advice because that's our nature sometimes, that we need to provide certain help or other things. So ask every time. If you're not sure about it, reach to the concerned person so that you can able to do that in a right way. So that these are the quick tips that you can help to build a culture, a positive culture. And there are other things as well, maybe dressing in a formal, or maybe using all those techniques, or maybe
Hello.
and maybe all those things. Then key takeaways from today's lesson, from today's session. Culture isn't just what we say, it's what we consistently do. So just like that, it is not about a 1 day or a 2 day task. It's about how we as a team, how we as a person build the culture. It's what we consistently do. It's just the what we say. And what points do we need to remember? Culture is the heartbeat of any organization. And because culture is what makes an organization. If there is a leadership, if there is a communication, organization is incomplete without the culture, and everyone contributes to it. Everyone is equally important, and each and every effort matters, and each and every person who is contributing to the ideas, the continuous improvement actually matters. Awareness and small actions build strong culture. Positive culture leads to performance, innovation, and retention. So awareness and small action, it builds a strong culture, just as I have mentioned. Like there are certain things, small action, that can actually build a culture, and everybody should contribute to it. And positive culture leads to performance, innovation, and retention. So if there is a positivity, you can also think about a lot of other aspects. Think about outside the box performances, innovation, and retention as well. Respect, empathy, and clear communication are at the core of healthy workplaces. So these are the values that is very important to create a healthy workplace, or create a clear communication. It is equally important for you to create a place wherein you will be respect. You are giving and providing the respect to the concerned persons, not concerned each and every person. Even the supportive staff matters. That is all. They also plays an important role, though they are not directly involved in the production activities. But yes, they are also a part of the organization, and we should be kind towards them, and we should be asking for their well-being as well. So that is the key takeaways. So my question to everyone is, what kind of culture do you want to build?
A culture that is more friendly and cooperative, where everyone can easily share their ideas, and where we can actually have a chance for a personal and professional growth as well at the same time.
Correct. Professional, personal growth is equally important, wherein people, if there is a new joinee, they are not hesitant to ask some queries from us, because we are creating that space. We are creating that energy for that new employee or a person, that he or she can actually reach out to us. If we are not approachable in nature, then they will not ask, or like tell something that they would like to. So that is about the culture that we want to build, a positive culture, basically. Okay. So have questions or thoughts, anyone? Let's discuss and learn together. Any Q&A, anything that anybody would like to ask? Any question, anything? If you're not able to speak, then you can write in the chat box as well. Anything? No questions? I hope this session is clear to you, the pointers which I have mentioned, and maybe you will implement this in your life or in your workplaces as well, and you can start noticing these aspects in your workplaces or your workstations, and the people around you. You will start noticing how people behave, and what kind of policies and other programs that the organization follows, and what type of things that they actually build. So fun activities are also these are also part of the employee engagement program. So once you join the organization, you can see there are a lot of aspects that the organization works upon. So a lot of things, when one organization do something, the other also start doing, and they start implementing it. And there are a lot of training modules that you can always reach out, that you can always go to it. And so that you can able to uh, develop yourself, upskill yourself, because that is how you can make a better person and a better performer as well. So it is not about the cultural, if I cultural aspects only. There are other factors as well, which plays an equally important role. And you just need to be a person wherein you are just following all those things and be a kind person and just do your work religiously and make sure that you are in a place where you are in a continuous learning, because maybe in certain times, or maybe in the future, or in the upcoming time, maybe you will be getting replaced by the AI, but your skills will remains with you. Your skill set will not be compromised. The more you learn, the more it will help you to get a better opportunities in the future, and it will definitely help you to get a good company or a good position that you desire for. So all these things, I hope that would be clear to you, like about how we differentiate about positive and I'm sure that once you go to a maybe in your internship or maybe in any other workplaces, so you will definitely see what kind of organization that they follows. Are there like innovative culture, or they are collaborative, or it's just a series of a chain or a traditional one, or there's something else, so that you can also see. And about some traits which I have mentioned about healthy and positive workplaces, so you can also go through that also, so that you can, these small steps you can take, so that it can help you to have a greater insights about the approach that you need to do in your upcoming. So thank you everyone for your time and participation, and it was a pleasure delivering this session with you. I really enjoy the session, and I hope I can really say the same for you. And you will definitely it will help you in some way or the other in your life.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, Miss Arleen Kaur, for your enlightening section and for generously sharing your wisdom experience with us today. Your insights on confidence building have truly left a lasting impact on all of us. Now, before we close the section, we'd like to open the floor for any questions. Please feel free to unmute and raise your hands. On the behalf of SEMS Welfare Foundation, I extend in our deepest gratitude to Miss Kaur for her gracious presence and the immense value she has brought to this platform. We sincerely hope this marks the beginning of such many meaningful collaboration aimed at inspiring and empowering individuals across the nations. And the key takeaways: corporate culture guides how employees thinks, behaves, and work together. A positive culture builds trust, encourages innovations, boosts motivation, and supports ethical behavior. It improves teamwork, performance, and overall job satisfaction. A healthy workplace fosters collaboration, empathy, and growth, while a toxic one thrives on pressure, fears, and silence.
Thank you so much for your kind words, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, so I can give my insights to you all. And thank you everyone for being a patient listener, and thank you so much for the platform which we have provided.